You think the walls you've built are protecting you. They're not. Every day you stay inside, you are feeding the exact thing you're trying to escape. This is not about introversion. This is not about needing rest. This is about the slow, invisible trap that forms when solitude stops being a choice and starts being a reflex. 5 Stoic truths are waiting for you in this video, and if you've been retreating for a while, at least one of them is going to cut deep. Stoicism was never a philosophy of escape. Marcus Aurelius governed the most powerful empire on earth while absorbing its full weight of chaos, betrayal, and war. He didn't withdraw. He learned to stand immovable within the storm. Epictetus, born into slavery, taught that the only true freedom is the one no circumstance can take from you, your response to what happens. And Seneca warned directly about what becomes of a mind left too long, without direction, without friction, without the world's sharpening pressure. Chosen solitude can be wisdom, but prolonged isolation, practiced without awareness, becomes a slow suffocation of the self. Before we go further, this is where most people quit. If you're still here, you're different. Subscribe to Silent Forge, not for motivation, but for mental tools you can actually use. In a world of noise, we offer direction. In a world of distraction, we build discipline. Hit that subscribe button now. Let's continue. Truth 1. Your mind was built to move. The Stoics understood something modern psychology is only beginning to confirm. The human mind does not function well in a static environment. It requires input, contrast, resistance. When your world shrinks to the same 4 walls, the same routine, the same loop of thoughts, something dangerous begins. You start believing every thought you produce. Not because your thoughts are accurate, but because there is nothing to test them against. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present." But the present requires contact with reality, not just with your own mind's version of it. Going outside breaks the echo. It interrupts the loop. It forces your nervous system to process something other than itself. That interruption is not a distraction from peace. It is the condition that makes genuine peace possible. Truth 2. Fear does not need noise to grow. This is the truth most people refuse to face directly. Fear thrives in silence. Every time you avoid stepping outside, every time you delay engaging with the world, your mind records that avoidance as data. And the conclusion it draws is simple. Something out there must be dangerous. Otherwise, why would you keep retreating? Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. And when you remove yourself from events entirely, your judgments fill the vacuum completely unchallenged. What once felt uncomfortable becomes unbearable in imagination. What once felt manageable becomes impossible before you've taken a single step. The world has not changed. Your perception of it has been quietly distorted by the absence of contact. Truth 3. Isolation rewrites reality without your permission. When you spend too long inside your own head, your mind does not sit quietly. It constructs. It fills every gap with assumption. It creates conversations that never happened, judgments no one made, problems that exist nowhere but in the architecture of avoidance. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That line is not a comfort. It is a diagnosis. The suffering you are rehearsing inside your walls is not preparation. It is distortion compounding daily. And the moment you step outside, you will encounter the same world you feared, and you will find it smaller than the version your mind had constructed. Not always easier, but smaller. That reduction in scale is the beginning of reclaiming accurate perception. Truth 4. The world is a teacher you cannot replace. There are lessons that silence cannot give you. A conversation with a stranger that reframes something you've carried for months. A walk that places your personal weight against the indifference of open sky. A moment of friction that reveals a strength you didn't know you had because you never gave it a situation to respond to. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." But you cannot experience change from inside a static environment. The world is not noise competing with your peace. It is perspective you cannot manufacture alone. It reminds you that your problems, however real, are not the center of all things. that life is operating at a scale that dwarfs the interior monologue you've been living inside. Truth 5. Strength is not the absence of exposure. Here is the hardest truth. Safety is not strength. Comfort is not healing. The instinct to stay where you feel protected is not wisdom. It is the nervous system choosing short-term relief over long-term capacity. True Stoic strength is not built by eliminating challenge. It is built by choosing contact with difficulty, even when every internal signal argues against it. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." What is in your power is the step outside the door, not the outcome of taking it, not how you'll feel when you return, just the step. And every time you take it, regardless of how it goes, you are sending your mind one unambiguous message. You are not trapped. You are still capable of choosing. Here is what these 5 truths are pointing at. You may have told yourself you need more time alone, more time to think, to recover, to prepare. But the Stoics would ask you one question directly. Prepare for what? Life is not waiting for you to feel ready. And the peace you are seeking by staying inside will not be found there. It will be found by building the capacity to remain stable while fully engaged with the world. Not peace inside a bubble, peace that holds under pressure. That is the Stoic target. That is the forge. Take one step outside today. Not because you feel like it, not because everything is resolved, because the discipline of motion, even small motion, is the first blow of the hammer on the metal. Drop one word in the comments. Forge, if this message reached something real in you. I read every single one.